Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chemistry is Fun. Now since in the previous few videos I have discussed about, initially I discussed about hydrogen, then I told about the properties and all. Today we will be seeing about the hydrides. Now hydrides are the compounds in which there is a presence of hydrogen definitely, and it will be having a compound with some other elements, and specifically in this we find that the oxidation state of hydrogen is -1. Why I am specifying this is because, see, in most of the compounds hydrogen has an oxidation state of +1, because as we see in HCl, if you see HCl, chlorine is highly electronegative, so hydrogen will have a oxidation of +1. Same is the case in water. In water also, H2O, there are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Oxygen is again more electronegative, so hydrogen will be having an oxidation state of +1. But hydride are those specific compounds in which the hydrogen is bonding with some such elements in a way that hydrogen carries an oxidation state of, means oxidation number of -1. So these all are hydrides. There are basically 3 types of hydrides, and the type of the hydride depends upon the electronegativity of the element with which it will be forming the bond. So electronegativity of the other element is more important. Now, as I told, the oxidation number of hydrogen in hydrides is -1. Therefore, here the hydrogen center will be acting like a nucleophile. It will have a nucleophilic character because it is having more negative charge over it, -1 oxidation state. So it will be behaving like a nucleophilic point, having a nucleophilic character. Now, depending upon what type of bond is formed, which in turn depends upon the electronegativity of the other element which is forming the hydride with hydrogen. There are basically 3 types of hydrides. We have ionic, covalent and interstitial, 3 hydrides. Now today we will be discussing in detail about the ionic hydrides. In my next video I will deal with covalent and interstitial hydrides. Now in case of ionic hydrides, as the name suggests, their structure should be like salts, because they should have some ionic character in it. So we also call them saline or salt like hydrides. In this, the hydrogen is forming a compound with a strongly electropositive metal. Electropositive metals are found in the S block, like alkali metals or alkaline earth metals. They are strongly electropositive and they can be prepared by heating the metal with hydrogen. The temperature should be maintained between 150 to 600 degrees C, maintaining a pressure, high pressure. Like lithium and hydrogen at around 600 degrees C will form lithium hydride. Sodium or potassium at 400 degrees C forms sodium hydride or potassium hydride. At a little bit lower temperature, calcium can form hydride with hydrogen at around 150 to 300 degrees C. So this is the general method of preparation of ionic hydrides. We are discussing hydrides. Now if we see their properties, they are either colorless or grey colored crystalline solids. If we consider alkali metal hydrides, they have a rock salt structure. Alkali metal hydrides have a rock salt structure. There will be the packing of the individual ions, in which there will be intermittent anions and cations, and here all the ions are there in the ionic hydrides, and these hydrides behave like salts. If we consider the reactions for the ionic hydrides, The solvents can be ether, because we cannot use water here. Water or any other protic solvent cannot be the medium for these reactions, because hydride ion is a stronger base than hydroxide anion. We cannot use a protic solvent. If we consider the melting and boiling point, because we have just discussed that they have ionic character, therefore they also behave like salt, so they have a high melting and boiling point, and in molten state they conduct electricity, and at that time they will liberate hydrogen at the anode. For example, if we take lithium hydride, it will be dissociating into Li plus and H minus. H minus being the anion, it will go to the anode. At anode, it will lose 2 electrons to form hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas will be liberated at anode. Li plus cation, it is a cation, goes to cathode. Accepting electron, it gets converted into lithium. These hydrides have high heats of formation. Heat of formation is high. Now if you see the density, for the ionic hydrides, the density is more than that of the metal. That is, hydrides are formed from the hydrogen atom and another metal. So the density of the ionic hydrides will be more than that of the metals from which they are formed. This the reason being, the hydride ions, H minus ions, occupy the holes which are present in the lattice of the metal. In the metal lattice, some spaces will be there, some holes left out. The H minus ions just occupy that holes, so the density becoming more, the density will increase. As we go down the group of the metals, we find that the stability of the hydrides will decrease, because down the group the size of the cation increases. As we go down the group, the number of shells will increase and the size of the cation also increases down the group, and the stability goes on decreasing down the group. So lithium hydride, if you consider, is more stable than sodium hydride, and it decreases slowly down the group. Same is the case with calcium hydride, strontium and barium hydrides. Calcium hydride being the most stable of these three. If we heat them strongly, they will burn in air, because the reason being that when we heat it, they will first decompose into metal and hydrogen. Now each of them will combine with oxygen, metal becomes metal oxide, hydrogen continues to burn, hydrogen is also a fuel, we know, we get water. So this is a reaction in which we find that on burning, that is, if we heat it strongly in the air, they decompose and they readily combine with oxygen. Now lithium hydride, when it is reacted with water, that is a separate reaction. Lithium hydride, if it is reacted with water, there will be a oxidation reduction reaction. Hydrogen gas and lithium hydroxide will be produced. It is not related to burning, it's a separate reaction. I will write and show you here. It is a different one. That is a, you see, lithium hydride, when it reacts with water, I just remembered the equation, so I am just discussing it here. It will give hydrogen and LiOH. So we see here hydrogen is liberated. So these hydrides can be used as a hydrogen gas source. Now if we find that at some places transportation of hydrogen becomes difficult, then this type of reactions can be used to liberate hydrogen. So it can be used as a source and a source of hydrogen gas if transportation of hydrogen is not possible due to some reason. So this is an important reaction. I come back to the strong heating reaction of hydrides. On strong heating, they decompose into the metal and the hydrogen is liberated. Each of them individually combine with oxygen, so we get metal oxide and hydrogen forms water. both will combine with oxygen. These hydrides show a host of reactions, many reactions. It will react with water, ethanol, carbon dioxide, even acids. So when just now I told you this equation, LiH plus H2O, it liberates hydrogen and with the formation of lithium hydroxide. With ethanol C2H5OH, we get lithium ethoxide C2H5OLi. This is lithium ethoxide and hydrogen gas is liberated. Lithium hydride with carbon dioxide forms lithium formate HCOOLi. It is a salt of formic acid, so it is lithium formate. With SO2, it forms Li2S2O4, that is lithium sulfosulfate. Similarly, with ammonia NH3, it will form LiNH2, lithium amide. And with HCl, we get lithium chloride and hydrogen gas is liberated. Alkaline earth metal hydrides and lithium hydride, they combine with nitrogen. Upon heating, we get the nitrides. Lithium hydride as well as calcium hydride with nitrogen, both of them will form the nitrides. Lithium hydride forms lithium nitride, calcium hydride will form calcium nitride along with the evolution of hydrogen gas. Ionic hydrides also have reducing properties. Like NaH, it will reduce CO, we will get HCOONA. So sodium formate and carbon is formed, you see, carbon monoxide loses oxygen. SiCl4 will form with NaH, it will form SiH4 and NaCl. SiH4, that is silane, it is a toxic gas, this one silane. Lead sulfate is reduced to lead sulfide PbS. NaOH will be formed. These all are reactions with hydrides. Fe3O4 on treated with NaH gives iron. NaOH will be formed. So these are all reducing properties of the hydrides, where we see that the compounds with which the hydride is reacting is reduced. So lithium hydride and sodium hydride can be used for making reducing agents because they have good reducing properties. How they will be used? Lithium hydride with aluminium chloride in the presence of ether gives lithium aluminium hydride, LiAlH4, lithium aluminium hydride. LiCl will be formed. Similarly, B2H6 and NaH gives NaBH4. NaBH4, sodium borohydride. Sodium borohydride. These are good reducing agents. Now we can have a look at some of the uses. The ionic hydrides can be used as reducing agents. Just now we have seen. And they can be used for synthesis of hydrogen by hydrolysis. So these are some of the uses of the ionic hydrides. I hope you all have understood the points which I discussed today. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.